So you're a pastor and church is over. It's Monday, Tuesday. You're thinking back, how did service go? How many people came? What was the offering like? How did worship feel? How did people seem to respond? And it's really easy to kind of trick yourself into thinking either worse or better. I always think of when David says, "Search me, O God, and know my heart." Because if I search my heart, I'm either going to think I'm doing horrible or I might think I'm doing great. So what are real metrics that we can do to actually check our service to see if we're reaching the lost rather than just bringing in people from other churches? And let me state this up front. If people aren't being fed by their shepherd, they're going to find another church. So I'm not bad-mouthing anybody who's grown because people from other churches have gone to their church. But the point of today is this. Are you effectively, actively reaching people for Jesus with real conversions? So what can we do? Number one, you can track real conversions. There's a ratio here, not just your attendance. And the formula is pretty simple. If your average weekly attendance divided by the number of professions of faith baptisms in a year doesn't point it out to you screamingly like, it's obvious, well, then there's a problem. See, a church of 300 with 20 conversions, actual conversions, in a year has a 15-to-1 ratio. Genuinely healthy, honestly. A church of 300 with only 3 conversions has a ratio of 100-to-1, which is really a crisis. You're waiting to implode, basically, because the truth is you can only convert so many people from other churches before you're not actually a church. A church's job is to reach those who are lost, not reach those who are attending another church. Secondly, you can report baptisms and conversions separately and specifically separately, and do a check in this matter, in this mindset. If you have 50 new members, check to see, are those members from other churches? Are they people who are coming back to church and had a faith? Or are they people that are coming back to Christ for the first time? It's really one of the easiest ways. A lot of churches offer new attenders classes or new members classes. And that's the time when you find out, why are you now seeking this out as a new attender or a new member or to be involved? Is it because you've transferred, or is it because you're actually new growth, a new convert who's accepted Christ for the first time? The other thing you can do is study what other churches and other peer groups are doing that are actively reaching people. Now, here's a thought. There are movements in your community that are growing that aren't even religious. Why are they growing? And who's being attracted to them? Gen Z, millennials, baby boomers? Start there and kind of work backwards. Another thing you can do is bring in outside honest advice to specifically look at your problem. And by that I mean, well, I'm available, but by that I mean people in your community that you know are genuinely reaching people for Jesus, first-time conversions. Set time with them, pastors. Find out what they're doing. Look, you have to get over the mindset that ministry is territorial. It does not matter where they go to church as long as they're at least being led to the true gospel and starting a relationship with Jesus. Find out what other churches are doing and ask questions and find out how you can begin to do the same thing. The harvest is far too great for us to get territorial and to become that pastor who is always in competition. Another thing you can do is make evangelism more specific and not programmatic, I might be the right word. Meaning, teach your people how to share the gospel. Teach your people how to be evangelistic in a very natural, lifestyle, healthy way. They don't have to memorize the 4 spiritual laws or Romans Road or the bridge. Those might help. But give them a handle on how to share the gospel with people in their community. And don't count church growth as how much your ministries are growing. Hey, we're growing. Our youth ministry went from 80 to 200. But is it conversion? Or is it just simply you've got a cooler youth pastor and a cooler youth ministry? So your family ministry is growing. Is that truly conversion? Or just because now you have better things to offer families? Again, check it out. And then again, I would finally say raise the cost of membership. And whether you have membership or not, what I really mean by that is Explain to those people in your church. Make it a part of the DNA, a part of the culture that we're not just here to be bigger and better and louder. We're not just here to offer something that's far more enticing than other churches. We're here specifically to reach people for the gospel. We're here specifically to see people who've never accepted Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior to do just that, to accept people, to accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior. We expect people to know that, to do that. Again, this is the scariest part of being a pastor. And this is a tough question to ask, but I'll ask it. Does your heart burn with passion to see your church grow? Or does your heart burn with passion to see the gospel shared and people come to Christ? And don't confuse the two. It's easy to say, well, I want my church to grow. And obviously through evangelism and the gospel, we muddle it up. If you had to choose one, I'd rather see people come to Christ, regardless of where they go to church, or see my church grow, regardless of whether they've accepted Christ or not. They're just transfer growth. Where does your heart beat? I pray that God does open heart surgery on you and that it begins to beat so that you can share this with your people. We need to see people who are headed to hell come to know Christ. And if that's the way our church grows, great. And if our church reaches people for Jesus and they go somewhere else, great. But that's got to be your heartbeat. Think about it. And remember, as always, we're here not just to tell you what has changed, but to tell you what is changing, how it's changing, and how you can better use solutions to reach that. Look, we want you to understand, attract, connect, and disciple. If you have any questions or if you want to be a part of our newsletter, reach out to me at heckman@generations.com. Keep praying, keep believing, and keep reaching people for Jesus.